Hi guitar mates, hope you are doing well. Now I did promise previously that I would be doing more from the new Saxon album, Carpe Diem, and if you've recognised, that's the opening track, Carpe Diem itself. And it is a cracking song, and I'm sure you will agree the whole album is really banging, so it is. If you haven't heard it, I really do recommend that you check it out. We're going to be looking at the main guitar parts in this, going to be looking at the intro, the verses, the choruses, etc. And also part of the guitar solo. I'm not going through the entire guitar solo there, but I am going to be looking at the set part of that guitar solo, which itself is a challenge. Anyway, let's get into this track and let me show you how to play Carpe Diem. Right, before we get started, I just want to talk about the tuning. Now, with all Saxon songs, they always tune down a half tone. So we have E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, and E flat. Make sure you tune it down, then you'll be able to play along with the record. Now, let's have a look at that main opening riff and what a powerful riff it is. I'll just play it through and then I'll break it down for you. So it goes like this. Right, so we're going to start off on an F sharp 5 chord. So we're on 2 on the low E, 4 on the A. We're going to play that 3 times. Move across, we're going to play an A5, which is open A, and 2 on the D. Up to a B5 chord, which is 2 on the A, 4 on the D. Back to the A5. So, then we move back to an F5 chord. Let that one ring out. Then we've got this sliding motion where we're going to play a C5 chord, which is 3 on the A and 5 on the D. Sliding down to that B5 chord, to an A5 chord, back to your B5. So you get... Now that is the first part, because this riff is based in 2 loops. So your first one, then we go back and we repeat the first section, so we've got them 2 F sharps, to the A5, B5. Now what we've got, we then have a slight pause, playing an A5 to a D5, and then moving up to an E5. So, second one. And then we repeat. And that is going to be repeated 4 times. You're going to play that in the opening section. So... So, that is your opening riff, which gets played quite a lot through this song. The tablature is available, and the link below will guide you to where it is. Next part is what I see as the verse section, because your intro, as well as being the power riff introducing the song, it also is the chorus line. So on the verse, we are playing this. Out of the verse, go straight back into that riff again. So we're opening up with an A5 chord. We hold that for the bar. Then we're going to play an A augmented, and all we're going to do on that sounds grand, but we're just going to move up, so we're playing open A and 3 on the D. Again, hold that for the bar. Move up to a C5 power chord. and down to a G. Now, one of the guitars, I'm not too sure who it is, holds on that G, because that will hold for 2 bars. But one of the other guitars, you can hear it faintly in the mix, is playing. So what there is going from the G to the C. Then we are moving down our first finger, so we get another augmented chord. So we're playing 2 on the A, and we keep the little finger on the 5. Then we back into that A5. Move up to that 3rd fret, C, onto your G. And then, as I've said, you play that note. And this time we only play the loop through, so you're playing this. Goes back into another verse. So the intro's got the long one. Once we get for the verse, we then go back into that riff. We just play that loop, and then we go back into another verse. Coming out of that verse, we go into another riff section. So verses, riff. Now, there is also a little bridge section that comes in, I believe, after the 2nd verse. So we're going to check that out now. So the bridge section will go like this. Now that is one of the guitars. I'm starting off on this E5 power chord, so I'm up on the 7th fret on the A string. I'm playing 9 on the D. Move up 2 frets to an F. Sorry, move up 1 fret to an F. Sorry, so we're going from the 7, 9 to the 8, 10. Then down to a C5, so we're on 3 and 5, both on the ND. Then we've got this little line. What I'm playing there is open E, 3, 5, cross over the A string to the 3, back to the 5 on the E, and then onto the G, which is the 3rd fret. Go back up to your E, 1 fret high to the F, and then 2 frets, so we're playing a G5, so we're playing 10 on the A and 12 on the G. As I said, that's one guitar. The other guitar is just playing the same chords, but they're playing it on the lower, so we get... and then back. So you decide which guitar you want to play. So that is what I would call the bridge section. Now when we come out the bridge section, we hold on that G chord. Then we go into this kind of set guitar solo section, and it's all played in triplets, which is advancing up the guitar, which I'm going to show you now. So it goes like this. Right, let me show you what's going on here. It's a little bit harder to do it in slow time because a lot of this is going to be doing legato, where we are picking, then hammering on and pulling off. So let's just go through the notes first, and then we'll talk about the way we are actually playing it. So I'm going to be playing a D2 to a D4, which is a hammer on, to a D5. So then we cross over and we pick G2. Then we cross back over to the D string, and we're going to do a pick on the D5, pull off to D4, pull off to the D2, and then back to the D4, and then across to the D5 again. So the note-wise, we're getting... That's the note that we're playing, and we keep repeating that. We're going to play that entire, and we're going to repeat that 4 times. Finishing on that D4. That the next set of notes that we're going to do as we move forward is going to be, and it's still the same picking idea, but the notes this time are going to be D4, D5 and D7, crossing over to the G4. But it's the same thing. Now we're going to move up to D5, hammering on D7, hammering on D9, crossing over this time to G6, and then back down from the 9 to the 7 to the 5. A little bit harder this one because you've got to bring that first finger forward onto that 6. The final one, we're going to be playing D7, hammer on D9, hammer on at D11, cross over to the G7, and then back on the 11, 9, and the 7. But we're only going to do this twice. Finishing on that note there, which is going to be the D9, and then we're going to slide up to D14. So we would get so that is the sequence for that passage. Now we are into the guitar solo section, which means a key change. We're going from F sharp down to the E's, and we're going to play the intro riff in the key of E. So we're going to move everything down 2 frets, or a whole tone. So it goes like this. So we start off on an E5, play that 3 times, up to the G, and then into the A, so we're going 3rd fret on a G5, up to the A5, which is on the 5th fret, back to the G5, down to the E. Then we're going to play our 6, 5, 3, which is that little sliding movement. Go back on the E5 3 times, to the G, A, back to the G, and then we do an E to a C, which is moving all the way up to this 8th fret. Up 2 more frets high to the 10, and we repeat. And we play that again, same as we did in the intro. You're going to play the entire loop 4 times. Then we are going to play that bridge section chord. So we were going to play this, we go. So we play that section, which is still through the guitar solo. And from there we go and shift back into the normal key. We go back to the F sharp and we go back into our intro riff again. So we're back on the 2nd fret. Play that loop twice, and then we go into a verse. Come back out of the verse and we go back into the main riff, and that takes us to the end of the song.